heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off, we had quite a bit of chaos going on. In the last part, Midoriya discovered that he now has a scar on his face, neck, and a portion of his shoulder and torso. Along with that, Island was mostly destroyed. The safety mechanisms or at least flotation devices were somewhat damaged during Midoriya and, well, Wolfram's fight. The final nail in the coffin for them was with the island being on security access, or at least an emergency lockdown. That means that most non-vital functions were not set into place. However, that did not account for the safety mechanisms that kept the island afloat malfunctioning. So, those ones malfunctioned, or at least were not activated, along with Meliodas' strike, blasting away a large portion of the landmass, further destroying the safety mechanisms. Now, with that being said, we will cut to the mainland. David's shield, he is getting off of a plane and is at least being lifted to a hospital. Meanwhile, we do have Midoriya and everyone else. Midoriya is still at least somewhat feeling his hand and running it over this scarred area. Well, we do have Melissa. All Might is talking about the fact that Melissa, she needs to stay somewhere tonight. She needs to come with him and get to UA. Most likely it will not be a very comfortable night, but they will figure something out. And if she would not mind it, then this would be Midoriya at least speaking up, telling All Might that he knows where Melissa could stay. Young Midoriya on such short notice? Yeah. My apartment building. Everyone just looking at him. Mineta trying to stare daggers into Midoriya. Midoriya giving Mineta a look that you could quite simply put two words to. Full counter. Now, as soon as Midoriya did begin to suggest it, All Might was kind of hesitant. However, Midoriya does actually just go over the facts. David's shield, a famous inventor, not only is his entire life's work on that island destroyed, most of it's probably not even, well, on hard drives, and then there's the fact that with him basically having these charges against him, and most likely going to jail soon, or at least into the hospital, most of his assets are going to be frozen. And with all that, that means that even him pointing to Melissa and saying in a bank account that David's shield has linked to hers, meaning that she doesn't even have a single dollar or yen to her name. To which Melissa, she's somewhat left silent. That was very well thought out. Everyone just staring at Midoriya, as he goes on stating that she can just stay there and crash for the night, it doesn't matter. He's pretty sure that there's an empty room somewhere on the 10th floor. But even then, it's either that or wait at UA. Melissa, she is given a choice, as Midoriya does actually go to walk home. Deanne and Ochako beginning to follow him. All Might actually asking Midoriya if he can talk to him for 1 minute, before being pulled aside. Young man, I'm having trouble with this. Trouble with what, All Might? Well, everything that I've seen. All of you young students are remarkable. Even then, it's not just that. It seems like you and your friends, including young Kirishima, all of you have, well, abilities I do not fully understand, nor comprehend. But are you sure that you can trust young Kendo? What are you talking about, All Might? Her quirks. I have not seen anything like that. Manipulation of Earth, and the ability to harden her body, just like young Tetsu Tetsu. And then young Momo. She is another discussion. Midoriya turning his head and calling over Deanne. Her walking over before Midoriya just tells her to show him. Her bring her hand up and shooting a bolt into Midoriya's head. That bolt then actually just going through his head, out the other side, and actually just turning before hitting All Might directly in his head. All Might left confused for a second as he actually just back up against the wall, before slowly at least sliding down. I see. Midoriya bending onto his knees, and then going on to state that, All Might, listen to me. What you're dealing with now, it's a lot more complicated. You see, you're immortal. And you're fighting against demons. And you're going to a place to help David. Yes, I am. Now, listen to me. How long before we have to go on another class assignment, basically? Well, that is a bit of a predicament. The final exams are supposed to be next week. Okay. What about anything else? Well, it's a bit of a... Well, you're not even supposed to know it. All Might, I know the secret of One for All. I know about All for One. And those people out there, Midoriya listing off the names of people that don't know about anything, saying that those are the smallest of people that he doesn't trust with magical abilities. The list of people he does is far greater, and even Ochako has heard All for One's name. However, he has not said a single peep about One for All. So, if he wants to trust him, that's fine. But just know this. Melissa isn't safe for paparazzi, or simply just people who want an interview. People are going to want to know how that island was destroyed. So, let him take Melissa, and, well, she will be perfectly safe. He would promise his life, but even that is something that he cannot give. All Might nodding, before at least thanking Midoriya with his secrets. I wish you would have told me sooner. All Might, you would have thought I was crazy. Besides, how would you react to me telling you I basically have to go to a place called the Land of the Dead to retrieve your best friend's soul? Damn it. This is gonna get annoying. Well, that might be true, young Midoriya. But you will have the next few days off. In fact, the day you come back will be the day of the final exams. Alright. They're at least making it easy on me, aren't they? Well, we sort of have to. It is standard procedure. Now, please do you look after young Melissa for me. And, young man. If you're going to find David, find his soul, please, let me come with you. Alright. Just like that? Well, you're at about 80%, right? Of your prime? That I am? So, I don't see a problem. Any power against that monster is good. Now, with that, everyone does separate. Melissa going off with Midoriya, Ochako, and Deanne. As they all do leave. Now, after walking to the apartment complex, they all do hop in the elevator, taking it to the 20th floor before Midoriya does unlock his door and walk into his apartment. Completely empty. Him walking over towards the kitchen, looking to see that there's a voicemail, or at least 2 or 3, on the landline. Clicking the button as he actually does go into the kitchen and open up a drawer, beginning to rummage around in it. Now, Melissa does walk into the apartment, along with Deanne. Deanne immediately heading to the kitchen and grabbing something. I want to say that she grabs a soda before at least sitting down on the couch. She sets it down on the table before at least going to lay down and begin to at least turn on the TV. Having to turn it down when Midoriya yells at her that he's trying to listen to the email. One of them is about a job interview for a movie. The other is Midoriya's father, calling in to see about what happened at Island. And the next voicemail, is Midoriya's dad again, calling to inform his son that he's having a good time on his trip, and that he was actually hoping to catch him. He's in a very good mood right now, and if he's being honest, he would actually really like to speak with him. He misses him a lot. And that's some of the things he's actually seen. They're beautiful. Him going on to reluctantly say, in a shaky tone, that if only they did this sooner. If only they sailed around the world, instead of taking a plane, what would have happened then? Midoriya, using his quirk, as a purple beam of light quickly lashes out, hitting the landline before all the messages are cleared, before quickly returning to Midoriya. Melissa watching that happen. Midoriya finally at least holding up a set of keys. Finally. Okay, let's see. Level 10. Apartment 176. Perfect. Midoriya, are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. But your father, I'm sort of confused. I thought he was in a coma. He was, but he's awake now. I woke him up almost 2 months ago. 2 months? Yes. My dad's been in a coma for 5 years. He felt like a fish out of water, learning that I can survive different injuries, and basically be put through absolute torture. Then finding out that his wife is dead. took a toll on him. So, Midoriya looking away before saying that he's on his own journey and he's on his own too. Now, with that, Midoriya does walk out and begin to make his way towards the apartment. As soon as he does get there, he makes sure that it's not only the right apartment, it's an empty apartment, and that there's at least furniture. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. It's the right apartment. No one's living here currently, but there is no furniture. It's a completely empty apartment. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he just somewhat grunts. Think for a second that this is too late for all this crap. Walking back to the elevator, heading back up, before walking to his apartment again. Oh, that was fast. Sorry about that. It was the right place, but there's no furniture. Oh. Alright then. Are you really sure it's alright for me just to stay in this building? Why not? Well, it's just that this place is kind of huge. In fact, I want to say this place might be bigger than any apartment I've seen on the island. Or hotel. Well, people do live here permanently sometimes. Ever since I bought the building, what is it? The guy on the 5th floor, I think, has been there the whole time. Kinda likes me, though. Actually, I think he likes me better than the old owner. At least I actually make sure this place is in running order. No pipes out of place, no roaches, and hopefully proper plumbing. So, Midoriya looking at the clock on the wall. It is roughly around 3 o'clock in the morning. Alright. Are you guys hungry? Melissa looking up and watching Midoriya, who suddenly just goes back to walking into the kitchen. Melissa going on to state that she can give him a hand. No, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. Are you sure? Deanne turning up her show, going on to state that Midoriya has always been like that. Besides, his cooking's actually pretty good. Oh, okay. Now, she just sits down and begins to watch TV. Midoriya beginning to prepare some food. After a little bit of time, they do walk in, grabbing a plate, and Midoriya gives them some food. Afterwards, they all do walk out into the living room and begin to at least watch TV. Melissa being shocked and surprised. Meanwhile, Midoriya, he just gets done eating pretty fast, standing up and going to his bedroom. Returning a little bit of time later, as Melissa is at least cleaning her plate in the sink. Oh, I thought you went to bed. No, I'll be fine. But, hey, you're gonna be sleeping here tonight, is that alright? Okay, but where am I? I just changed the sheets on my bed, so they'll be fine. No, I couldn't. Don't worry about it. Besides, I actually did plan on doing laundry whenever I did get home, so I already did need to replace them. But this is a bit too much. Don't worry about it, Midoriya says, walking over and sitting down on the couch, before at least laying backwards a little bit and getting a bit more comfortable, bringing his legs up to rest. Now, as it does happen, Melissa does actually walk into Midoriya's room, and seeing a little bit of movie posters here and there, and at least pictures. Things that you'd expect to see, well, in sort of a fangirl's room. Behind the sets, pictures, and at least what looks to be newspaper clippings. The Midoriya family, and a lot of events that have gone on in their life. Along with just generally pictures of the family. Now, with that being said, she just looks around a little bit. Most of the walls, or at least areas on the wall, is a place where there's at least a picture or a newspaper clipping. Events that have happened to the family. Except for a few spaces that may have been removed. Now, after Melissa does get a bit more comfortable, she turns off the lights and hops into the bed. As soon as she does actually stare up at the ceiling, she does see a newspaper clipping just taped onto the ceiling. Breaking news: Hisashi Midoriya's miraculous recovery. On the set, well, for a new beginning. A picture of Hisashi, at least somewhere in America, or possibly even a different country. But he's just there with a pair of sunglasses and drinking something in his hand. Now, Melissa's kind of confused. She didn't see that one before. But, it does make sense. Her trying to roll over and go to bed. Tossing and turning while thinking about different things. Eventually, she does find sleep. Meanwhile, out in the living room, Midoriya, who's laying on the couch, finally is at least feeling tired. Damn it. Before he does at least begin to drift off. This being whenever Deanne does actually try and actually just move his leg downwards. As soon as Midoriya's leg does actually just go down and completely buckle, he just jumps up for a second. What the hell you do that for? You were reckless tonight. Reckless? Me? Yes. You encountered the demon. And I couldn't do anything. You don't understand. Midoriya just looking at her for a second. His eyes don't show rage. They show, well, fear. And Deanne actually does somewhat jump back for a second. Midoriya bringing his hand up and rubbing it against his neck. Running it over the scar over and over. Saying that this new little thing here, the demon gave it to him. Not just that. He said that I had to play a game, a test, and I barely passed, Deanne. He was going to make me kill everyone if I lost. So you fought intensely? Yes. I tried to repeatedly use critical overdrive. In fact, my body still feels heavy. Not like whenever I stole everyone's powers, or their strength. Not even the Nomo. In fact, me just being somewhat, well, able to move is a surprise. Surprised you didn't notice it. I thought you were moving a bit slower. Yeah. But I'm just sort of scared. If that man can inflict lasting damage like this on me, what can he do to a human? He took Mr. Shield's soul. And now he's making me play some sick game for it? It's not right. Not at all. Deanne, just at least, getting up. Her pushing her blanket onto Midoriya. Midoriya is surprised for a second as he actually does go to pull it off of his face. Before he actually does feel her try and press in. Kind of surprised. She begins to climb into the blanket with Midoriya. Midoriya kind of confused, as she does actually begin to state that she's not leaving him alone right now. What the hell? Can you not do this? Listen, Midoriya. I can't believe how much more obvious I have to try and make it. Make it? What are you talking about? Do you not remember anything? Remember? What are you talking about? Now, Dian simply just begins by giving Midoriya a little bit of his memories back. Or at least a little piece she cut out. Now, we will cut back to Island. Whenever these two were getting ice cream together, right before Midoriya himself popped in for his conversation with Melissa about magic. So, Midoriya, how have you been doing? Oh, I guess I would be fine. Or, well, the other me would be fine and I would say he's fine. Again, with the autosync off, you are still Midoriya. Well, yeah, but still. Come on. It's kind of weird, right? Well, yeah, I'll give you that. Then again, I am a living doll. Midoriya going on to state that, but she still does enjoy ice cream. Now, she actually does somewhat jump at that statement. Her accidentally pushing her cone up towards her nose, and having to try and wipe it off. Midoriya laughing for a second as Dian, she does the exact same thing. Shooting a small beam with her finger, and a piece of ice cream actually just blast out towards Midoriya, landing on his face. Her beginning to laugh a little bit. Oh, you cheeky little... Her just saying that she's kinda sorry, but not really. Midoriya wiping his face with his sleeve. Jeez. The way you're acting, I think you... Oh. What are you talking about? Midoriya looking at her for a second, and leaning in a bit close. Dian, I have a question. Sure, what is it? You wouldn't happen to have a thing for me, would you? No? Oh, really? Well, your face is red. Midoriya just bringing up his left arm, and bringing his hand onto her chin, raising up a little bit, her face red, and her eyes, well, they look a deep shade of blue. So, do you want to answer my question truthfully this time? Oh, well, Fine. You caught me. Listen, I don't know how Midoriya pulling her in for a little kiss. And Dian is kind of completely shocked. Before Midoriya does actually slowly pull back and say that he doesn't really know what to say. He's probably known her for the longest amount of time. Or at least a little bit over that, hasn't he? But yet here they are. It's hard to think. Hard to think what? Well, it's hard to think about you and me. Why is that? Well, I don't know. Damn it, this is all kind of confusing. But I think I'll know how to figure it out whenever Her just bringing her hand up and shooting the beam. That cleared Midoriya's memories. Before he did slowly step backwards and begin to just eat his ice cream cone. before Midoriya turned back on the auto-sync. Where are we? Oh, Midoriya. Are you there? Midoriya coming back too. What the? You cheeky little... Her giving a light smile, before saying that Midoriya really needed that information. Besides, look at him right now. He's scared. And, well, she's going to try and inform him on something. Her going to bring her hands up. Midoriya wrapping his around her body, as she brings her hands up to his head, and begins to show Midoriya something. The land of the dead. Where they're going to be going is not going to be easy. From what she knows, living souls pass to it after they die. And it's not an easy place to get to. However, Merlin might have more information. And they can ask her about it tomorrow. But for now, they just enjoy their time together. Deanne wrapping her arms around Midoriya, and Midoriya wrapping his arms around her, as the two fall asleep. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.